And now we're given a value for x, pi over 6, which we need to substitute into this expression right here, and then simplify it, find out how much cosine is, and then give the exact answer, which means you should be able to do it without a calculator. Well, let's see, it's got -1 plus a half cosine, and then in the parentheses there's 2 times x, so that's going to be 2 times pi over 6 minus pi over 2, and then simplify. So right here the 2 will divide into pi over 6, so that's going to become pi over 3. So just over here on some scratch paper, I'm going to do this part. So this becomes pi over 3 and then minus pi over 2. So the common denominator for these two is going to be a 6. So this one I need to multiply by 2 on the top and the bottom. This one I need to multiply by 3 on the top and the bottom. So this one is going to be 2 pi over 6 minus 3 pi over 6, and then that equals 2 minus 3 is -1 pi over 6. Okay, so that's what goes in the parentheses right here. So you've got -1 plus a half cosine of negative pi over 6. Now, since we're supposed to find the exact value, that means I can use a 30, 60, 90 triangle or 45, 45, 90. So if I change this to degrees, it would be multiply by 180 degrees over pi. And then these pi's can cancel, and 6 will divide into 180 30 times. So it's actually -30 degrees. So that means I should be using a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Across from the 30 is 1, across from the 90 is 2, and across from 60 is the square root of 3. And then how much is cosine of 30 degrees? So cosine of 30 degrees would be adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's going to be the square root of 3 over 2. Now pay attention to the negative part. A smart trig class. -30 degrees would be going this direction, which means we're in this quadrant. In that case, cosine is positive. So this is correct. Now put that information over here. So -1 plus a half, and then we got the square root of 3 over 2. So that would be -1 plus, so multiply these 2's down here. It's going to be square root of 3 over 4. And I guess technically you could stop right there because that is an exact answer, but I feel like combining these two fractions. So this fraction is -4 over 4 in place of -1. And now that they have a common denominator, I could combine them. So it would be -4 plus the square root of 3 over 4. All right, that's the exact answer.